Just choose one thing, baby. Just choose one thing, baby. One thing. You know, we all think that we are the coldest motherfuckers alive on January 1st. And what I mean by that is we set like 37 goals that we're trying to accomplish by January 31st. It's like, in the first 30 days, I'm gonna hit $1 million. I'm gonna get a six pack. I'm gonna, buy a new business. I'm gonna buy my first car. I'm going to save $10,000 in savings. I'm gonna buy a new house. Like, I'm gonna do all this in the first 6 months of 2024. Obviously a little exaggeration by saying January 31st, but in the first 6 months of 2025. And what happens is that initial inspiration and motivation that you had after about 2 weeks disappears. And what you thought was going to carry you through the rest of the year, in actuality, doesn't carry you anywhere. Motivation and inspiration are temporary and fleeting experiences. It doesn't mean that they don't play their role in life and give us a little, supercharge to get, put a jetpack in our back and get us moving, right? But discipline, environment, current mindset, and what we currently identify as, what character traits, personality traits, behaviors we currently identify as, you know, the people we surround ourselves with, the jobs we currently hold, like the things we entertain and give our time to. These are the things that are genuinely going to help us, move towards our goals and actually achieve something. Discipline, being able to do shit when you don't want to do it. One of my goals for the first 30 days of this year is to just make 5 15-minute videos each week and talk about whatever comes to mind. Obviously, in the lanes that I'm interested in, right? But whatever comes to mind, shoot 15-minute videos, publish them to YouTube, and then use that content as short form content for my social platforms like TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, right? So I say that to say that I didn't want to record this video. Matter of fact, I had been pushing it off all day and had plenty of moments throughout the day where I was inspired with a certain thought or motivated to talk about a certain topic, and continued pushing it off until now that it's evening time and I'm supposed to be getting ready for bed in 30 minutes and I have a headache and I'm sleepy, and it's much more unlikely for me to execute because I didn't, practice discipline or commit to a specific time that I was going to do this. But guess what? We're here anyways and we're doing it, right? But, motivation, throughout the day, and inspiration to talk about certain topics isn't what made me take action on creating this video, right? It was the final moments going into the evening where I was like, if I don't do this, I'm going against my word that I said I was going to do this. I'm not honoring my word. And what type of man am I if I don't honor my word? And some people might be like, it's just social media, right? Like, it's not that big of a deal, but it is. If you're not somebody who can honor their own word or says something and then doesn't actually do it, and you get used to doing that and like behaving in that way, then you identify and other people identify you as somebody who doesn't execute consistently. And that's not somebody you want to be, and that's not somebody who's going to build a big, coaching business that changes his family's life financially and brings him lots of joy and is of service to, millions of people on earth. That behavior, that identity, that mindset, that mental framework, that's not going to get me there. So I had to like reframe in the moments leading up to bedtime tonight, like, what type of man do I want to be, right? What type of individual do I want to be in 2025? And one thing that came to mind is I want to be somebody who's disciplined and takes action even when he doesn't want to. And I want to be somebody who honors his word. If I say I'm going to do something, or if I say you can rely on me on me for something, I want to be the person that shows up. And I felt like this was a great moment to practice that, and here I am shooting the video, right? And then when we talk about environment, like that could be your friend environment, the individuals you surround yourself with, like your friends, your family, your coworkers, like the job you decide to take and give 40 hours a week to. If you have the ability, which I believe that you do, to choose the type of clients and customers you work with, if you're a business owner, like the city you live in, the neighborhood you live in, these are all things that you have a level of control over that can impact your decision making, that can impact your desire to take action, that can impact your mindset and your ability to commit and be consistent because people hold you accountable, or because your environment is set up in a way to motivate and inspire you to take action, right? Or your environment is set up in a way where you surround yourself with people who force you to be disciplined because they would expect nothing less of you, right? So environment, understanding and committing to discipline, changing how you identify yourself and who you want to be and how you want to be perceived, and the type of man or woman you want to be, right? These are the things that are going to change your life in 2025. Not setting 400 goals that you're going to achieve in 6 months because you're motivated in the moment and you just writing down everything that comes to mind. I'm not saying you shouldn't be writing down all your goals and setting big dreams and looking up at the stars like I could dominate the world. You should definitely do that, but on top of doing that, you need to set smaller goals, and you need to understand the behaviors, the mindsets, the environment you need to be in order for those things to eventually become a reality, right? So you can't just set it and forget it. When we're talking about goals, that's often what happens. You can't just set goals and forget them. You have to set goals, identify who you have to become to achieve those goals and become that person today. Like, decide on that right now in your brain, in how you live your life. This is who I'm going to be today, right? And like, one cool thing, just like back to the topic of social media about posting shit like this, is I'm gonna post this on YouTube, and if I don't post another video for the next 30 days, that tells you all you need to know about what the next 3 to 6 months are going to look like. Somebody said something very powerful, which is very true, which is the experience in life that you're having right now was set up by the work and the action and the things you did 6 months prior. So what you do today, how you identify today, who you identify as today, the actions you take today, the behaviors you engage in today, the people you interact with today are going to impact how your life looks 6 months from now. So when I say I'm gonna post this video, and if I don't post a video for the next 3 months, the next 3 to 6 months after that probably aren't gonna look so good because I didn't really change how I identify myself. I didn't really practice discipline. I didn't stand and honor my word. And if I don't do it today, then I'm probably not going to do it tomorrow. Now, the powerful thing about being human is that's not a complete truth. You can change your life in 24 hours. You can decide to be a different person tomorrow. It is possible. It is challenging, but it is possible. But I think you guys get what I mean nonetheless. But nonetheless, as a personal trainer, human performance coach, health and fitness guy, whatever you want to fucking call me, guys, okay? Whatever you want to call me, as somebody who works in this industry and has been working in this industry the past 8 years, all I do from January 1st to February 1st is communicate, conversate, engage with individuals who are motivated to change their lives, but they're not committed to changing their lives. They haven't actually changed the identity that's kept them in the place that they're at right now on January 1st. They didn't actually sit down and shift their mental framework. They didn't shift their identity. They didn't say, I am someone who is healthy. And because I identify as someone who is healthy, my actions will now follow. No. Instead, they say, one day I want to be healthy, so I'm going to go to the gym. Those are two different things, okay? Those are two different things. Who you identify as right now in this moment, and understanding what actions, behaviors, and the mindset you need to have to become that person, and committing to that right now, and identifying as that individual, and identifying as somebody who behaves in that way right now in this moment is a lot different than being like, in the future I want to be like this, so let me go do this right now. Promise, it'll die off. So, I got another 3.5 minutes on this camera for you guys, and if you take anything from this video, I want you to know that you need to identify as the person you want to become right now in this moment. You need to stop fucking around. If you want to be a millionaire, if you want to be a 100 millionaire, if you want to be a billionaire, you need to identify as a millionaire. You need to behave how you believe a millionaire would behave. You need to get in an environment where other millionaires are surrounding you, so you can understand how these people operate, how they identify, what are the behaviors, the actions, the habits, the routines, the mindsets, the environments, the friendships that they hold that allowed them to get to where they're at right now, and are continuing to push them to get to where they're trying to go in the future, right? You need to put yourself in those situations. You need to do your very best to be comfortable identifying as a millionaire, even when you're not there. If you want to be somebody with the six packs that's lean and wants to be a male or a female cover model, right? Then you need to identify as that individual today and start matching your actions, behaviors, and mindset with a person, which is you, who lives that type of life, right? So you need to identify as that individual today and have a strong understanding of the actions, the behaviors, and the mindset needed to get there. And if you have no fucking idea where to go, you need to get around those people as soon as possible. You need to get around those people as soon as possible. And if you don't know how to get around to those people, you need to go do some research on how to get around people like that. My number one recommendation, this is what I've done over the years, and I'm not saying it's been perfect because I haven't, stood my ground as a man and really changed my identity and really embraced discipline and action and all the things that I've said I was going to do. So I don't expect you guys to fully listen to me, but I will say something that has been beneficial to me over the years is finding, business owners, finding real estate tycoons, and finding out what meetings are they attending, finding out what coffee shops do they like to go to, where do executives and business owners in my city go for business meetings, where do the athletes or the young successful creatives in my city, where do they hang out, where do they club, where do they frequent for breakfast. And I go and I spend my fucking entire day there. I'm working on my computer at a fucking the Regency Santa Monica Hotel, because I know that is a hot spot for people to go get dinner at. Or I go and I hang out at the Beverly Hills Hotel for breakfast when I get a chance, because I know what type of people stay at that hotel. Or I know that when business owners come to LA, this is where they go for breakfast. This is their favorite hikes. Like, then I go hang out at those places, and I don't go and interrupt people in their day or say, hey, are you a millionaire? Or, hey, can I sit down with you? No, I put myself in the environments, and I make sure I'm an open individual, and I smile, and I make sure I'm not like tucked away in the corner. I make sure I'm approachable, and conversations naturally happen. And when you show up enough and you're open to receiving energy from other human beings, and you have an intention, you have a goal, and you carry yourself with a certain type of energy, and you look approachable, you will come across people who will give you the time of day and let you learn from them. If you don't like doing that, then man, I don't know what to tell you, but that's where I would start. I got like plenty of thoughts flowing through my head, but this is the first video of this 30-day, 5 videos a week challenge that Malad challenged me to. I didn't write down any notes for what I wanted to talk about. I just popped out here and started ranting. So hopefully any individuals who watch this video in full, you enjoy it, and hopefully I'm able to turn this into at least 1 or 2 pieces of social media content, because at the end of the day, that is the purpose of doing this challenge. And I just hope there was some value brought to you today. Peace.